Good morning.
Good morning.
Charlie couldn't be here today, so I thought I would enact a Charlieism with you. Welcome one and all to our Unitarian Universalist religious community. We welcome you, whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, whatever tradition, gender, race, sexual orientation, social status, age, or any other identity markers that you embrace. I'm Reverend Michelle Buhite, the minister of this congregation. My pronouns, which I offer to create a truly inclusive and brave space for all to live into the fullness of their identities, are she and her. For those gathered in the chapel, I urge you, it's more than an invitation, it's actually an urge you to turn off your phones. We need to free up web bandwidth. We have a lot of folks who join us online, either now during the live stream or later on YouTube, and we want their experience to be absolutely seamless in just the same way that we have that experience in person. Also, if you need a little bit of extra hearing support, if you need extra hearing support, we do have assistive hearing devices back at the usher station, and you are welcome to borrow one for the service, and our usher, Jackie, can help you with that. So let me begin with some opening words by Maureen Killeran. These are the opening words that we have used throughout this month so that we can take them in and take them in and take them in. Holy is this place. Blessed is this ground on which we stand. Holy is this place. Holy are the places of memory, the places which have formed us, where we store the icons of success and shattered dreams, and gather threads and pieces of what we would become. Holy are the places of memory. Holy are the places of the dream, the places over the rainbow, where all the children are wanted and all people are fed, where colors are the source of celebration, and youth and age come to the table as one. Holy are the places of the dream. Holy are the places of change and pain, the places of our struggle, where the rivers of our lives run white and fast, and we hold on, and grow. Holy are the places of change and pain. Holy are the places of connection, the places where we risk ourselves, where hands, touch souls, touch minds, and an awareness still, we change our lives. Holy are the places of connection. Holy are the places of becoming, the places of clear vision, where life and world are intertwined, and we can see forever in this moment and give thanks. Holy are the places of becoming. Blessed is the ground on which we stand. Holy and whole making is this place. Our gathering music this morning is an adaptation of a traditional African American spiritual. So adapted words for Over My Head will be projected up front. It's only the last phrase where there might be a change from the hymnal. So if you choose to turn to the gray hymnal, page 30, so you can see the notes, and if anyone wants to sing harmony, you know how that would make me feel. It would be so great. But just be aware that at the end of each phrase, you might want to take a peek up front so that we're all singing at least similar words. So as far as I know, this is new to us, and so I've invited Gregory to play it through, and then we'll stand, and we will sing tentatively, and then with more and more gusto. How's that sound? Great, Michelle? Okay. So go ahead, Gregory. we go. Over my head, I hear music in the air. Over my head, I hear music in the air. Over my head, I hear music in the air. There must be a God somewhere. Go ahead and stand up and let's sing together. Over my head, I hear singing in the air. Over my head, I hear singing in the air. Over my head, I hear singing in the air. There must be a song somewhere. Over my head, I see trouble in the air. Over my head, I see trouble in the air. Over my head, I see trouble in the air. There must be justice somewhere. Over my head, I feel gladness in the air. Over my head, I feel gladness in the air. Over my head, I feel gladness in the air. There must be joy somewhere. You may be seated.
Good morning. My name is Kim Diana. I use she, they pronouns and offer my pronouns as one way to encourage us to live into our authentic selves together. I am a white woman with dark blonde hair. I'm wearing glasses and a very colorful blue and green shirt. And I am glad to be with you. We are moving from our time of welcoming into centering as we employ the elements of water and fire to create that sacred space where we can be fully present. So we begin with an acknowledgement that our church is built on holy ground, land that was nurtured and cultivated by those who occupied it before us. We offer this libation as our giveaway, as we honor the struggle of all people seeking justice and peace. We seek the courage and wisdom to heal the wounds of our past and build a better future story together with all our neighbors and fellow creatures. It is now our custom that we light a chalice. The chalice is usually, it is a cup, a vessel that symbolizes the gathered community. So it's the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. But today we have two chalices. I'm sharing an extra chalice with you that you can see right here. This was created by one of our very own, our amazing daughter, my amazing daughter, your amazing friend, Tayte. Some of you know her. She's still a UU, and she is now a member of the Young Adult Panel at Summer Institute. She made this last semester. She's an art minor. And she made this. It's a chalice that depicts flames representing our new official UU values of justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. This art represents my authentic daughter, a person raised in the UU tradition right here with the help of many of you in this room and who hopes to change the world. And so now, let's go back to our official one that you can light on fire, because don't light hers on fire. Join me in our chalice lighting words. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together.
Thanks, Tay. Each week we bring our whole selves into this sacred time. We bring our joys, our sorrows, our concerns. I invite you to participate in a ritual that has become quite dear to us, where we gather as a community in all the messiness that entails, as we come forward and place a stone or a shell on the table labyrinth for those things that you are carrying with you that you would like to, even for this hour, entrust to this sacred space and this beloved community. So as the music plays, I invite you to come forward. I place the final stone in recognition of the joys, concerns, and sorrows of those who are joining us online. We are one big, sometimes invisible community. Let's share a few breaths as we expand our circle of care and concern out beyond these walls. We bring into our circle of love and care those who are ill, those who are in pain, either in body or spirit, those who are lonely, those who are feeling overwhelmed and lost, those who have been wronged. May our hearts remain tender, even when we would create a wall around them. May we continue to find hope in the goodness of life and in the source of love. May we find strength and peace and the courage to carry on. Amen. and blessed be.
So I invite you to breathe with me. I invite you to bring your full, authentic self to this space together here right now. I'm reading a selection from Be Who You Are from a book called The Daily Om. You can subscribe to it online if you want a daily email from them. It reads, when we were young children, we live authentically, seldom afraid or embarrassed to seek out what we want or to speak our minds. As we grow older, we tend to tuck that authenticity away, putting it aside when we chase our dreams, afraid that it may hinder us in our success. But we never let that freedom go completely. We may conform publicly to society's expectations while embracing secret passions when alone. It's important, however, never to stray too far from that youthful brashness and self-interest, for they are qualities that help make you who you are. So before we do the time for all ages, I'm just going to do my first reflection. So we don't have a lot of littles here, but we have a lot of people who might be little at heart. So I'm going to ask you questions that are geared for the whole audience. Who here has ever seen a dog so happy they just jump or spin in circles? Or a cat who zooms like a rocket around the room? Or do other silly things. Dogs and cats, they are awesome. They're just being who they are. No pretending, no worrying, they're just purely wagging, purring, ignoring us, leaping for joy. Have you ever seen a dog stop and say, maybe I shouldn't jump for joy right now? No, they just go for it. What would it be like if we lived like that, sharing big smiles, big hugs, big dreams, and knowing we're great just the way we are? So now Reverend Michelle is going to look in the Wonder Box, because I wonder what might be in there.
I don't have to wonder where the box is because I know where it is. It's right here, but I do wonder what's inside. Wonder box, wunderbar box. How many languages can she use? That's it, that's the end of that. Okay, so it's not a brick, it's much too light to be a brick. I'm gonna guess a book. I'm gonna guess that it's a book. I think you hallucinated for a moment there. Of course, I would never peek. Of course not. It's been known to happen, yes. So this is a fabulous little book. Boom, boom, there we go. Titled Be Who You Are by Todd Parr. It's just a little tiny book. And even though it doesn't have a whole lot of words, it has a whole lot of meaning. Okay, so this is for everybody. I'm deciding, well, the rest of you will just have to imagine what it looks like, but it's very colorful. So there, now you know what the pages look like. Okay, imagine the rest of it. All right, so I'm going to read this to you. I'm actually going to go to the other slide so that the folks who want to be reading that can. And don't say it out loud because okay. Be who you are. Be old, be young, be a different color. Wear everything you need to be you. Speak your language. Learn in your own way. Wait, what? Learn in your own way. Everybody learns the same, right?
No.
No, not even a little bit. Perfect. Be proud of where you're from. Be your own family.
Alien.
You can be an alien family. What fun is that?
If there's other life on Earth, then I am. And other places.
Just be who you are. Be silly. Some of us have a master's degree in silly. Be brave.
Fish is brave.
Dance. I would encourage you to dance, but maybe as you leave out there. Play, learn, discover, read, share your feelings. Okay, and here's a dog having feelings. Happy, mad, sad. Silly. Oh, wait, that's socks. Scared, proud. Just be who you are.
Dogs usually eat.
Try new things. Oh, taco truck. Amen. Be confident.
Which one's the top?
Stand up for yourself. Be energetic. Be peaceful. Those feel like opposites that we can do. Be the best that you can be. Just be who you are. It doesn't matter what color you are, where you are from, or who's in your family. Everyone needs to be loved. Always love yourself and be who you are. The end. Love, Todd. He's the guy that wrote it. Gosh, I wish I could figure out what the overarching theme of this book is. What do you think it is?
The cover, be who you are.
Be who you are. Let's do it all together. Be who you are. Perfect. All righty. With that, I think you got the message. So we're going to sing our
Dogs
kids
are usually eating the
out. You'll notice I'm not paying attention anymore. Go.
So as an opening to my reflection, I'm going to read something that I found on Worship Web by Sarah Lamert, which has a very long title. It's called "The Elements of Fire Represent Passion, Veracity, Authenticity, and Vitality," but it really sets up my reflection very well. So, the element of fire represents passion, veracity, authenticity, and vitality. If the chalice is the supporting structure of Unitarian Universalism, then we are the flame. We are the flame fanned strong by our passion for freedom, our yearning for truth-telling, our daring to be authentic with one another, and the vitality we sustain in our meeting together. In all of this, there is love. So we're going to have a song that we all know well, but we're going to have it portrayed in a different way. Some of you may have seen Reverend Michelle share this. There was a group of people from a high school in Transylvania that is a Unitarian high school. I wish I'd gone to a Unitarian high school. But the Unitarian youth of Transylvania came to the Lincoln Memorial and they sang Spirit of Life. So we're going to watch them sing Spirit of Life in Washington, D.C. in a time where, gosh, we need to have Spirit of Life sung loudly in Washington, D.C., and we will sing along with them.
Think about timing there. I love that.
Being brave.
Being brave. Wow. Y'all, I have this list of things, but I don't need to say anything because you're covering everything. We've got more.
Being real.
Being
Being real.
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 Excellent.
Okay, I'm going to pass it to you and then pass it down.
Okay, being yourself without worrying about being judged by others. You just do what you want.
Pursuing your passions without guilt or letting anybody else make you feel weird or stupid about it.
I feel like there might be some stories there.
Loving your friends
Loving your friends.
as well as your enemies.
As well as your enemies.
Oh,
Oh,
Living your values.
living your values. Ah. Okay, I don't need to sermonize. We can be
Okay.
done. But no, I do have some things to say. I'm a professor in my day job, so I usually do a little research. So the Oxford English Dictionary provides some things that are nowhere near as good as y'all's, but we're gonna go with their definition. The quality of being genuine or real, the truthfulness of origins, commitments, or intentions. So let's kind of go to one of my personal favorite experts these days, the approachable social psychologist, Dr. Brené Brown. And I know a lot of UUAmherst people like her, and one of our reading groups, shout out to Linda Joy, organizing a reading group for The Gift of Imperfection, but in a different book she wrote, and you can read it too. Authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. Embracing who we are. Likewise, Dr. Carl Rogers, one of the founders of humanistic psychology, reminds us, in different words, but kind of similarly, something, and then goes a step farther. The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change. So, for me, authenticity is not about perfection or being right. It's about wholeness. Could it be that embracing our full humanity, including our flaws, our doubts, our evolving selves, can bring us to authenticity? So I was preparing for today, and I came up with some ideas that the universe has provided to me about how to learn about authenticity. And in the thing that I said before, the Reading for All Ages that I kind of hinted at, we're going to be talking about companion animals. And I'm also sharing with you another piece of art by the amazing Tayte Connolly Cumberland. At the time that she did this, this was all the animals who lived in our house. So yes, that was another Christmas present the year before this was a Christmas present. She knows how to get to my heart. So have you never ever noticed that cats and dogs, they just live with complete authenticity, rarely pretending to be something they're not? I've cohabited with many dogs over let's go to the dogs. The one before. There we go, dogs. Most recently, our family got to live with Phoebe, a German-Australian Shepherd mix who sadly passed away last year. Sorry. Okay. Phoebe and other dogs taught me so much about authenticity. As I said earlier, a dog doesn't wonder, am I too much? Should I be more reserved and not show my joy or incitement? No, when they're excited to see you, they leap, they wag, they show up fully. No one has ever been as excited to see me come in the door on a random Tuesday, not even my beloved children, as Phoebe. She lived in the moment. She barked and leapt and let me know how much she loved me. And she never questioned that she herself was lovable. She knew that she was lovable. Sometimes when she was in my face as I was trying to put things down coming in the door, I had to breathe to remind myself how lovable she was. But she was amazing. What if we lived like that? What if we showed up fully in our relationships, in our creativity, in our dreams, without holding back, without questioning, if I do this, it might be too much? What if we too believed that we are worthy of love just the way we are? What if we didn't hold back in our excitement for fear of being embarrassed or judged for joy? What if that authenticity allowed other people to show their excitement the way we allow our dogs to show it? I've also lived with cats since I was young. Right now, I cohabit with a few. Cats are independent and wise. They do not overextend themselves. They can be affectionate. I mean, it depends on the cat, but on their own terms. That's their own authenticity. When they need rest, they take it. When they're done being petted, or some other situation being played with the little laser thing, they just walk away without guilt. You know. What do we need to learn from our feline friends? How often do we say yes when we really, in our heart, are thinking no? How often do we ignore our own needs to please others? Although I wish that Zenny would ignore his own needs and not knock things off the counter as much as he does. But anyways. But doesn't authenticity mean knowing ourselves deeply enough to honor our own limits, just as a cat would? Let's move back from my lovely stories about the dogs and cats to our UU faith and about how we can be authentic here and in the world as a UU. Because it's one thing to embrace our solitude, our authenticity in solitude, but it's another to bring our true selves into community, even this community. Being authentic can be scary, especially if you're new to a community or if the community feels like it's in flux. Being authentic can have you think, what if people don't like the real me? I don't know if I can do that because I don't want to be judged. What if I risk being vulnerable and then I get hurt? Harkening back to my sermon last year about belonging, psychologists Desi and Ryan, who had developed that self-determination theory that I talked about at length last time. I have a lot fewer footnotes this year, y'all. They found that authenticity is actually deeply connected to our sense of belonging. When we are in spaces where we feel accepted, we feel free to express our true selves. So just as a dog trusts its human, just as a cat curls up on a lap, or watches us from afar if it's that kind of cat. We thrive when we trust that we are safe to be fully ourselves. And the scholars say that this is always true. So when we translate that to our faith, UUs can strive to create that same safety for those around us so that we can be fully authentic and ourselves too. So let's be honest, because being our true selves in community is essential, even more so in these challenging times, which is why I chose the opening song we sang. It's essential. It can also be really hard. A loving community that embraces authenticity is one where people don't have to perform and put on a facade that hides aspects of themselves. But then we have to work to empower people to bring their whole selves, because our whole selves are messy. They're evolving. The realness of them is often not as pretty as when you put on all the mascara and makeup and act very together. But in this community, we can know that we are valued and belong. If we truly want to put love at the center, as our faith calls us to, then we can bring authenticity even if there's conflict. Okay, I want to make a big, huge footnote here. Big, huge footnote. This sermon is aspirational. There are times in this world where authenticity is not safe. There are people for whom authenticity is very not safe in parts of this world. And so I want you to be careful, and I want you to not apply everything I'm saying to everywhere, unfortunately. I just want to put that as I recognize that's true, and some people talk about authenticity in a way that's not the way I'm talking about it now. So I just wanted, in case you're having that wondering, I know that there's another space in the world that we're living in, particularly in the United States of America right now, that's not there. But let's be in this beloved community for now. Let's talk about the true and loving community we want this to be. And I hope you have other true and loving communities in your life as well. So here, and in those other communities, how can we create spaces where authenticity is welcomed and nourished? How can we nourish this authenticity together? How can we really, truly allow us to share our real joys and our real struggles in acknowledging that we have them by putting the stones in, but also in talking about them and inviting others to talk with us about them? And in knowing that allowing that space for sharing our authentic selves, is inefficient. If we're going to actually allow that and not say, how are you doing? Fine, fine, fine. If we're going to actually do what I did to somebody who I'm not going to name out loud, when I was out there and they're like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm really nervous right now because I have to give the sermon today and I'm nervous and I'm really nervous. And I started talking really fast because that's what I do and I get nervous. Instead of saying fine, and they looked at me like, you're giving the sermon and you're nervous? But then we talked about it. So you have to have those moments of doing that. And that was a longer conversation than just saying, fine, fine, good, good. Because in those conversations, we can unlock each other's gifts, unlock true connection, and truly center love. Our authentic selves are like a flame. When we hide who we truly are, the flame flickers a little bit. When we deny our gifts, that flame dims. When we show up fully, whenever we can, again, the safety thing, no when you can't, but whenever we can show up fully, when we embrace our quirks, our truths, our vulnerabilities, our joy, that flame can burn so bright. So, I'm getting to the end of the sermon. It's now my job to give you ideas as to how to do this. About how we nurture our authentic flame here and in the world. Start by the thing I started with. Learn from our companion animals to love fiercely, rest when needed, trust our instincts. But here's a few other things we can think about. Come to places like here and other places that are available to us, where we can surround ourselves with people who see and affirm our true selves, and do that as much as we can. And for those of you online, we're glad that you're connecting either in real time or after, even though you can't be here, and we see and center your authenticity too. Thank you. Use courage to carefully be a bit more authentic when we're not surrounded by kindred spirits. What if you didn't answer fine to somebody when they asked you how you were? What if you did a sentence about something else? Carefully unfolding and reaching for more connections with authenticity. What if we really seek to believe in ourselves and others and cultivate more communities of acceptance and true listening? True listening is hard. True listening can be scary because if you're listening to somebody be authentic, you can get to a place where it opens up things for you. But if you invest in that, it can be amazing. And notice when you have these authentic moments, and think about ways you can build more of them. Beloveds, the world needs each of you each of the authentic parts of you, your wisdom, your dreams, your fears, your commitment, your whole authentic self. So let's all dedicate some time this week, or just during coffee hour, about how we collectively can nurture our authentic flames. Let us learn from the joy of dogs and self-knowing cats. Let us lean into the warmth of this space within UUAmherst, our beloved UUAmherst community, trusting that we can be safe to be fully ourselves. And let us leave ready to find more opportunities to bring these authentic selves into the outside world. So I'm about to close. I'm about to let you stop having to listen to me and get to sing again, which that may be sad for some of you, and that's authentically you, but lots of you are excited about that. But I want to invite you to take a gift from me to remind you of this conversation. I want you to take a small flame reflecting the theme of this sermon. And so we've got people going around with baskets. Be sure you get a flame and then turn it on and hold up your flame as we are singing this song, and then take home this flame, because I want you to feel safe and remember that being your authentic self, particularly in the times we are living in today, is going to allow us to bring light to a dark time in our world. And with that, I will say thank you for listening to me and turn it over to Michelle to authentically lead us in song as people are getting their flames. Thank you very much.
We'll just take a moment so that the flames can get around. I invite you to, since we're going to be singing about the fire of commitment, that perhaps you can turn on your little flame. And if you're juggling a hymn book, then you are excused from holding your flame, because there's so much that we need to do at one time. Oh, look at all the little flames. Everybody look around. Oh. I see your flames online. There you go. Ooh, that'll be very careful. Okay. So we're going to sing together The Fire of Commitment. It's found in the Teal hymnal number 1028. And please rise and bow to your spirit as we sing together. You may be seated. Ah, that was fun. Making a time for an offering of gifts and pledges is an act of faith. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality, because we know that we pick fruit from trees we did not plant. We drink water from wells we did not dig. And that is as it should be, so long as we dig and plant for those who will come after us. The offering will now be gratefully and joyfully received. We began our service with the lighting of a chalice, and now we extinguish the chalice not to quench the flame, but to return it to individual hearts, strengthened by this time together so that we can share our light out in the world. So please join your voices with mine. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. As our service draws to an end, our service to the world is ready to begin. You'll find many opportunities for growth and service in your order of service and also on our website. But I want you to know, well, there are a couple announcements, like a bunch. But the thing I want you to really know is that you are all invited for coffee and conversation following the service. We meet in the Emerson room, which is adjacent to this space, and it is a time to relax, find community together. Parents, don't forget to pick up your children, and there is a family-friendly zone at the north end of the Emerson room. Registration will open this week for Summer Institute. Summer Institute! So, yeah, those of us who have been are like, ah! The rest of you are wondering what all the hoopla is about. Well, you can find out. Ask me, ask Linda Joy, ask Kim Diana. We will be happy to tell you about all of the fabulousness of Summer Institute, which takes place in July. Related to our larger community, our larger UU family, we are seeking 3 delegates to attend the annual General Assembly, which is held in Baltimore this year, or online. You can be a delegate online. So please contact Randy Kent, our board chair, if you are interested. Or you can talk to me as you're passing through, and I will pass the message on to Randy. And I believe now Diane Tucker has some words about the UU Rainbow Coalition. Oh, Diane and crew.
We are being our authentic selves this morning. I'm here to announce that our church is going to have a float in the Pride Parade, which is being held downtown. This is on June 1st, and quite sadly, this could be the last time due to the current social climate. So we're asking you to join us either by making posters, donating money so we can have a big float, signing up and marching with us, or if you need to, riding on our float. So sign up, help us decorate, donate, and see us in the Emerson Room for more information. We hope you will join us.
I think you'll be able to find them in the Emerson Room. I'm just gonna toss that out there. The facilities team is meeting today after church in the Murray Meeting Room, which is at the end of the hall in the administrative wing. If you are curious about that, Don Tucker, you'd be the person that someone would stop and say, what do I do? Okay, so there's a theme here, Diane Tucker, Don Tucker. Everybody has to change their name. Have you heard about the Homegrown National Park movement? Well, Book Club will be discussing the book Nature's Best Hope by Doug Tallamy, a co-founder of that movement. They're going to be discussing it today at noon. Even if you haven't read the book, you are welcome to come and learn more about the book and also that larger movement. They'll be meeting at noon in the living room/library. It's in the house part of the building, and if you take a left outside of these doors and go up the ramp and just keep going, you will find them. So that's at noon. A lot of things happen at noon, so you have to drink your coffee just as fast as you can. And next week, in preparation for Cinco de Mayo, there will be a lunch after church. Chili and all the fixins, vegan options will be available. It's a family-friendly event. All you have to do is stay after church next week and enjoy a little bit of festivity. So that will be big fun. That was a lot. That's good. You can tell a church is alive when all the things are going on. This is awesome. I invite you to rise in body or spirit as we sing our closing blessing. And it is our custom that I have created for in the third verse to twinkle your eyes at one another. And you can't help but smile when you twinkle, right? So, and feel free, if you want to twinkle through all the verses, really, I will not stop you.
Our closing benediction is by Terry St. Cloud of Bonsai Arts, and we will read it together. I believe every moment is a chance to honor yourself.
And that every single time you choose to honor yourself, your inner light, your inner flame grows brighter and stronger.
And yes, I believe that we all have an inner light that is there even through our darkest times, and even when we can't see it or feel it.
It's in there. And strengthening it and growing it adds to the light of the world.
I believe this matters.
I believe you matter. Go in peace. Make a difference.
Make good trouble.